Hello friends, I am back with another video tutorial on data structures. In this tutorial, I am going to introduce you linked list data structures. So first we have to know what is linked list. A linked list is a linear collection of data elements called nodes. In linked list, each node is divided into two parts. One is called information field and other is called link field. If we consider this is a node, then this part is called information field. This part contains the information of the element, and this part is called link field or next pointer field. This field contains the address of the next node in the list. This is a linked list with 4 nodes, and these are the address of each node. Each node is divided into two parts. The left part contains some information and the right part will hold the address of next node. First node will contain the address of second node. Address of second node is 112, so this part will contain 112. Similarly, second node will contain the address of third node, that is 305. Third node contains the address of fourth node, that is 435. After the fourth node, there are no other nodes. It is the last node in the list. So the pointer of this node will contain a special value which is called null, which indicates the end of the list. To access the linked list, we need to know the address of a first node in the list, and the address of the first node is stored to a list pointer variable called start. Now we have already get a basic idea about linked list. Linked list is a linear data structure which is used to store data in the form of nodes. In our previous tutorial, we learned another data structure called array. Array is also used to store data or information. Now the question is why we use linked list as array is available to us. Because array has some limitation and we overcome those limitations using the linked list. Let's see what are the limitations of array and how we can solve them using linked list. All of you know in computer system memory is an important component. Without memory, computer is useless because all the information or data is stored in computer memory. Suppose this is a computer memory. Each cell of computer memory is considered as 1 byte and each byte has a unique memory address. Suppose the address of this cell is 100, this cell is 101, then 102 and so on. The next thing is the memory of the computer is managed by a component it's called memory manager. Memory manager controls the whole memory. It keeps track of what part of memory is allocated and what part of memory is free. And if you want to store something to the memory, you need to talk memory manager. If it gives you the permission, then you can use the memory. Suppose you want to store an integer value to the memory and you send a request to the memory manager by declaring an integer variable, something like int a, and memory manager says okay, I will give you 2 bytes. Because in 16-bit compiler we need 2 bytes to store an integer value. Suppose memory manager gives you this location to store an integer value and the address of this location is 108. It is the address of the first cell of this block. Now you can store some value here. Here we assign a equal to 4. I am going to write here 4. Next you want to store a list of values. For that you need to declare an integer array. Here I am going to declare an integer array of 3 elements and the name of the array is b. After declaring the array, a request is sent to the memory manager to asking some memory space to store 3 integer values. Then memory manager says okay, I will give you 6 bytes and it looking for the free space and memory manager allocate this block. Here I am going to store 7, 2 and 5. Now you want to store another value to this array. So you need to extend this array. You talk to memory manager But memory manager see there is no adjacent space to extend this array because array element stored in contiguous memory location. So to store another element to this array, we need a free space adjacent to this block B. But there is no free space, so memory manager inform the user it is not possible. Then the user asks the memory manager what is the solution. Then memory manager says give me another size of array and there I will copy these elements. Before supply the new size of array, user think this time I will request for a large block so that I can insert element in future. The starting address of new block is 118. Now memory manager copy these elements here and free the previous block. Now you can store here another value. I am going to store here 9. Now you can see here we use only few space here and others are free. So memory space is getting wasted. This is another type of problem. So what is the solution of this problem? We can solve this problem using a linear data structure called linked list. Let us see how we can solve this problem using linked list. In case of linked list, instead of asking a large contiguous block of memory, we request memory for each element or request each unit separately. For example, here we store 3 elements 7, 2 and 5. First we request memory manager for the element 7. Suppose memory manager allocate this block at address 106 to store the element 7. Now you can store here 7. I am going to write here 7. Next we make another request to the memory manager to store the element 2. Suppose memory manager allocate this block at address 114 to store the element 2. I am going to write here 2. Since we make two separate requests to store the element, so we may or may not get the adjacent memory. Higher probability is that we may not get the adjacent memory space. Similarly, memory manager allocates memory space at address 126 to store the element 5. As you can see here, when we make separate request for each integer, instead of getting one contiguous block, we get disjoint non-contiguous block of memory. Since elements are stored in non-contiguous memory location, so we need to link this element so that we can identify this is the first element, this is the second element and so on. In case of array, it is very simple because in array, elements are stored in contiguous memory location and using the base address, we can calculate the address of any element. But in linked list, elements are stored in non-contiguous memory location. So to link this block, we need to add some extra information with each block. So what we do here we add an address field with each block that will hold the address of next block. Now see the picture carefully. Each block has two parts. First part contain data and second part will contain the address of next field. So the address field of first node will contain the address of second node. Address of second node is 114. So this part will contain 114. Similarly, address field of second node will contain 126. The block at address 126 is the last block. There is no other block after this block. So the address of this block will null, which indicates end of the list. So here we actually request memory manager a block of memory that will store two variables. One is an integer variable that store the value and other one is pointer variable that will store the address of next block in the list. So a node actually contains 4 bytes, 2 bytes for information field and another 2 bytes for address field. In this way we can save our memory. This is the memory representation of linked list. Another problem of array is shifting of elements. When we insert an element in an array, we need to shift elements to its upper index. Suppose this is an array and we want to store the element 9 at the index A1, but this position is already occupied by the element 3. So what we do here? Here we shift all the elements at the index from A1 to A3 to its upper index. So first shift 7 here, then 5 here, then 3 here. Now we can insert here 9. We can avoid shifting problem by using linked list. Let's see how to do it. Suppose this is a linked list and we want to insert this node after the first node. To insert a node in linked list, we just need some address changing. In the address field of first node, give the address of this node. So now this field contains 223. And in the address field of new node, give the address of next node, that is 235. After inserting the new node, linked list looks like this. This is the first node, this is the second node, this is the third node, and so on. Similarly, when we delete an element, we also need some shifting. Suppose we want to delete the element 3 from this array. So first we need to shift 5 here and then 7 here. But in case of linked list, it's very simple. Suppose this is a linked list and here we want to delete this node. So what we do here? Here we just give the address of this node here. I am going to write here 260 instead of 235. So now address field of this node contains 260 instead of 235, and the deletion is completed. We traverse the list in this way. Start from here. The address of this node is 260, so go here. The address of this node is 275, so go here, and this procedure is continue. As you can see here, this node is deleted. So the advantage of linked list over array is that there is no space is wasted in memory. Like array, there is no need to specify its size at the time of declaration. In linked list, we can create a node whenever we need and we can delete a node whenever we want. This was about the linked list. Next tutorial we will learn operations of linked list. That's it. Hope you understand. If you have any doubt, please comment on the video, and if you have any suggestion, please tell us. Thanks for watching. To watch more videos, please subscribe this channel Slide Hunt. You can like my Facebook page at www.facebook.com/slidehunt, and you can follow me on Google Plus at www.google.com/+slidehunt.